Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing this evening? Hopefully, you can hear and see me. This internet sucks. I'm in apparently the freaking shittiest hotel in the world for internet. So we'll give it just a couple of seconds. Let me know if y'all can see and hear me and all that good stuff. So somebody type in there if this thing's working. Hello, Tactical Firearms. How are you? Hello, Fina, Dennis, Pistol Pete. All right, Richard Jenkins. All right, like I said, I've got the shittiest Wi-Fi. I am in El Paso, Texas, so long, long way from home. Hello, Lynn, Mai Kai. Looks like we're kind of caught up on things. And also, if y'all have any questions this evening, definitely ask them. Um, yes, and we will talk about the CZ Bren 2. If y'all saw the picture, that is a cracked receiver. So we'll get into it. This is not my firearm. I actually just was able to see it, and what happened, or apparently what happened. Had to watch a commercial, huh? Okay. Guess YouTube's throwing commercials on here. Hello, CZ Shadow 2. Milkman, I don't know if I said Milkman. I'm sorry if I missed you. A-Dubs. All right. And also, I want y'all to guess what I brought with me or what I'm carrying in El Paso. So let's see if, and I'll give you a hint. It's 2 items. So let the guessing begin. I think that'll be fun. But yeah, it's I'm out here working, and it's definitely warm and dry. And I was able to go to Fire for Effect and talk to those guys and see what's going on there. I also posted up a Tactical Sport 2. They are able to do the optics cut on those now. So if anybody has one, definitely they can hook you up. I love their work. Matter of fact, out of all of the optic cuts, they have the lowest one. One and only Staccato. A fifth in a glass. Yeah. Trust me, I need to be carrying that. Yes, it is the Staccato C2 Duo. So I do have that. But there's something else. So what else would there? What else would there be? So that is what I'm carrying on my person. But of course, as y'all know, I travel with other items sometimes. Pistol Pete saying the custom. Pistol Pete, I will tell you this. Hello, TTO Clark. Good night, guys. I guess you're heading out. Pistol Pete saying the custom. To be honest with you, and I've talked about this before, I definitely want to put a lot of rounds through something before I carry it. And the custom setup, the double, with the 5.56 and 300 blackout, has not had enough rounds through it yet. I've only put 150 rounds through the 5.56 upper, and I've only put about 150 rounds through the 300 blackout upper. And I mean, nothing went wrong with it. They fired and ran correctly, and everything was good to go. But I just want to get some more rounds through those before I actually truly depend on them. Like I said, I think they're going to be great. I really like them so far. But Dennis is correct. Dennis is the winner chicken dinner. I am carrying well, put it this way, it is the POF. But which POF? I have 2. I'll give you a little hint. Can anybody say what that cartridge is? Try to get you a good angle. Anybody have any ideas? Got a bunch of these with me. And it's right there behind me. CZ Shadow. Yes, that is a 300 blackout. So it is the POF 300 blackout. That is what I am carrying. So got a light on it. I've got the Vortex Gen 2 Huey on it and a magnifier. Yeah, I'm not carrying the 308, and I easily could, but on that one, I only have the thermal on it, and it works in the daylight too. But didn't want to bring that bad boy. That thing is pretty much turned into the Hogzilla. that is going to be a dedicated hog gun. I mean, and it's awesome. I love that thing. But that's what I'm going to be hog hunting with. And hopefully it is officially somewhat planned out, and it should be within 2 weeks. We will be destructing some hogs, devastating some hogs, put it that way. But also, I did want to thank everyone, all the family members out there, for the 16,000 subs. So I've surpassed 16,000 family members, not really subs, but 16,000 family members, and I appreciate that so much. That's awesome. So keep them coming. Smash that thumbs up button. It looked like I think I had 5 thumbs down before the chat even started. So I don't know what that's about, but whatever. Haters gotta hate. But also, and if y'all have any questions, please ask away. Big number. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we all start from 0 and work our way up. So that's what it's all about. Hey, I was going to say, you're welcome to. Hello, Frank. How are you? But yeah, the last time I went hog hunting, what did I use? I used my big 308, and it's a big boy. You know, it's 18 rounds, or excuse me, 18 inches. It's a big one. Fina, that's actually a great question. Do I prefer plastic magazines over metal magazines for rifles? Honestly, my favorite magazines that I really, really like are Lancers. I've had super, golly, man. Apparently, StreamYard changed this. You used to just tap it and they would go away. Thank you, Dennis. They would go away. But now they're like holding, and if you tap them again, they'll still stay there. So I don't know. But I really prefer the Lancer magazines. You know, here's one thing. I have dropped metal magazines or aluminum magazines, and I've actually dented them. So I dropped one on a rock this way, and it had some, you know, I was just doing mag changes, just playing around, and I dropped one and it hit right on the side and it put a dent in it. Well, when it put a dent in it, the follower was kind of jacked up. So I had to take it all apart, go in, bend it back out, and then it started working correctly. With Lancers, with the metal feed lips, I have dropped these things so many times and never, ever had a problem with it. PMags, the older Gen 1 PMags, I had them where they would split right here because I don't keep them empty. I keep them loaded. And they had a little split right here, but that's not happening on the newer PMags. But I really like the steel lips on the Lancers, and I haven't had any issues with the Lancers, and they stay loaded all the time, whether it be 5.56, 300 blackout, 308. I have a lot of Lancers and 308 too, so haven't had any issues with them. Pistol Pete, I'm not sure if you have a video on it, but how do you like that Primary Arms GLX Prism with ACSS? I was checking those out. Yeah, actually, I have 2 of them. I was showing them on those that rifle build that I had done, and I'm actually really liking them so far. You know, I shoot them. It's 2 times Prism, 2 times magnified, but I actually shoot them, of course, with both eyes open, and I'm really liking them so far. Not having any issues with them. You know, again. That's in an indoor range. 50 yards was my maximum distance. But so far, 150 rounds through the 300 blackout, 150 rounds through the 5.56. So far, no issues. And what's neat, if you're shooting a head target, you can just put the ring, right over the head. And I mean, I was hitting right there. So just tut, 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 tut. I mean, it was just so simple. But I really want to take them out to distance, like 100, 150, 200 yards. And see what I can do with them. I think it's going to be a cool thing. That is actually a good question. Big J, will you be trying the Primary Arms Micro 3 times on the new builds, or the 2 times staying put? Honestly, I really like the 2 times. I like a little bit of the length better. I'm not saying the micros are going to be bad. I just don't know if I'm going to need a 3 times yet. I'm not opposed to trying one out. Matter of fact, I told him I would love to try one out, but I might put it on something different, see how I like it. Then I can compare them, like put it on another 5.56 compared to the 2 times, see if it's that much different. The one thing I will say on the new micro that's coming out is your ACSS reticle and your horseshoe and everything is a little bit bigger in the window. And, you know, if you have poor vision or something like that, that could help. But I haven't seen one in person yet. I just know that they are putting the bigger reticle in there, and that might help many. I don't know yet. I haven't personally seen one, but I am wanting to try it out. So I don't want to say, I mean, I really don't think I'm going to get rid of these 2-time prism. And another thing, you know, I built those, or one of those guns built is like a do-it-all. I mean, kind of one bag, and I can practice. I can, you know, have something for self-defense, suppressed, of course, non-suppressed. And the good thing about a prism, of course, I have astigmatism. Y'all know that, 2 stigmatisms in each eye. And you don't have to depend on batteries. It's got an edged reticle all the time. You know, if a dot goes down, your dot's just out. Oh gosh, hope we're not having, okay. Internet was clicking in and out, sorry about that. So you don't have to have a battery because it has an etched reticle. So I'm kind of looking at it as like a do-it-all, you know, worst case scenario. So that's why I really wanted the prisms on there also. So that was another reason. Yeah, Pistol Pete, you know, I've got the little, you know, links that sometimes if you use my link, you can get like a free cover, and they offer things like that if you use my my link for it. So I'll post those links up if you want me to. I can't here, but I'll post them up somewhere. And, you know, if you want to use those, sometimes you can get some free stuff. And it's a affiliate link, so they give me like, I don't know, $2 or something. Techno Firearms, how do you compare the accuracy with the CZ TSO versus Staccato? I know you have both, and soon get myself a CZ. I mean, the TSO is a huge gun. I mean, it's a big boy. You know, long barrel, all that good stuff. And I've got a dot on mine, so it's not just your regular TSO. They both shoot fantastic. I mean, they're fabulous guns. The TSO with the single action trigger, I think mine pulls at 1 pound, 8 ounces. So it's definitely a lighter trigger, but it's not really a 2011 trigger. A lot of people kind of, when they get one, they're like, you know, a 2011 pulls straight back. The CZs have the hinged trigger, so it is a different feeling. It's a great trigger. You can't put a light on the TSO. You know, there's not a, that's where I really like the Shadow 2 over it. But honestly, it depends on kind of what you want it for. If you're just wanting, the Staccato will kind of do everything, where the TSO, you know, if you're just wanting balls out, long distance accuracy, I would probably say velocity and everything, the TSO is going to be a little better. But, you know, you've got the P yourself, the Staccato P, so you already have a little bit longer barrel than, of course, the C2. It really comes down to what you're looking for. I do like on the TSO that you can change the grips, because I would personally change them to lock grips. The CZ aluminum grips suck. They're just more for looks. Instagram looks is what I say, for color. But if you want grippiness and tackiness, I would definitely get lock grips on it. You can get the thins, the mediums, the large palm swells, however you want them that fit your hand better. It really comes down to personal preference. So, but they're great guns. Yes, and CZ does make a very accurate barrel. They're cold hammer forged. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. Hello, Lucas. How are you? Hello, Russ. Wow. Russ is saying I had to send a Staccato C2 back to Staccato because my trigger pull was 6.5 pounds. Holy shit. I wonder if the bow got bent. You know, you've got your bow that goes on the back of the trigger around the magwell. I wonder if the bow was bent. That could have hit it up. That, you know, that could have bent the bow and caused it to go out. You know, and that is the good thing about the C2 and really all of the 2011s and 1911s. You can tune the trigger to however you want it. If you want it a little, you know, harder or stouter, you can set it to that. If you want it thinner or lighter, you can adjust it to that. So that is a good thing. But that sucks, man. Sorry that you had to do that. But they'll get you fixed up. Tactical Firearms, wanting a nice range gun with sweet accuracy. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're super accurate guns. I've always said this. Um, you you know, a lot of people think they can buy accuracy. The gun is definitely heavier, so the heavier is going to help with your recoil and things like that. But with a great grip, good trigger pull, keeping your sights on target, you're going to get great accuracy with either of them. The longer barrel, if you're shooting irons only, I would definitely want longer sight radius, which would be the TSO. But if I'm shooting dot to dot, it doesn't matter if it's a 4-inch or a 6-inch barrel, because you're shooting dots, and iron sights don't matter, or your distance between the iron sights. So you're welcome, sir. But yeah, they I carrying a different bag this week for my POF. This is kind of a smaller bag where it actually fits right in my suitcase, so it doesn't stick out or anything, and I don't even have to carry it. So I'm kind of being even more incognito because you never know. Um, but yeah, what's weird, I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm still in Texas. I'm in El Paso, and they're mountain time. So it's just now 6:14 here. Normally at home where I live, it would be 7:14. So I'm still in Texas and now have a time change difference. El Paso is the only place I have it in Texas, so that's really strange. But so I was like, damn, I'm doing the chat at 6 o'clock my time. Let's see here. Talonacine Mong putting a flat double action, single action trigger on my Shadow 2 to try to capture some of the 1911 trigger feel. I have felt one of those. Thank you. I think you're new to my channel on the chat. I appreciate you showing up. I have tried one of the flat triggers. This is my personal opinion. The new flat trigger that's double action, single action is really far forward, like where your trigger would normally be. It's actually like tilted way forward. And it kind of, I've got big fingers, so it kind of is weird to get my finger in there with that trigger in there. It's kind of like a little sharp pointed one. It goes down to a point and it's kind of tilted more forward. I'm not real crazy about that trigger. I don't know if that's the one you've gotten, but the trigger just feels weird. It just has a very weird pull. And I actually prefer flat triggers, but I'm not real impressed with that trigger. That's just my opinion. I don't know if that's the one you're getting, but I don't care for that one. Let's see. Milkman is saying, picked up a Staccato P Duo a couple of weeks ago. I'm very impressed. Yeah, I mean, for what you're getting, I'm not saying it's an Atlas or anything like that. I would never, say Staccato is better than Atlas because I've shot Atlases. They're super nice guns. But for the price that you're getting it for, and and of course I'm a Texas guy, and 100% of that is made in Texas. They make everything in house, where they used to actually get frames from the Philippines and bring them in. Now they're actually doing everything in house. So I want to support Texas, of course, and I'm very impressed with the gun. I really really enjoy it. And this is not my first 2011, but being light and super controllable and actually still fitting my hands because I've got an XXL hand. I'm very impressed with it. So really enjoying it. Yeah, the double axle angle is pretty interesting. Haven't actually installed it yet. Yeah, it's just so super forward. I was like, I don't know. I think they could have maybe kind of made it come down and, maybe drop, but it's just like, whoop. I mean, it's just like a straight angle. It's kind of strange, but jet lag. Did you fly somewhere, Pistol Pete? I actually drove here, and it's 9 hours and 45 minutes from my house, so it's a pretty damn far distance. Big J, on your opinion, is the Shadow 2 or worth the price, or just get the regular Shadow 2 and have it milled? Oh, optic ready. Okay. This is my personal opinion, and this is just me. There's nothing wrong with the optic ready, but I will say this: with the optic ready option, it puts you have a plate, and then your dot is up there. So like if you put an SRO on it, the hood distance from the bottom of the hood to the bottom of the slide, I mean, it's like this big. Your optic is way the hell up there, and I don't like that. I actually like a direct mill to where they can cut into the gun, because if you've seen my Shadow 2 or my 2 Shadow 2s, I have 3 of them, but 2 of them are I've milled. But my hood is like this high from the slide. I mean, it's super, super low, but Fire for Effect did it. But for the price that you buy a regular Shadow 2 and then have it milled the way you want with no plate, mine is a direct mill, so I have no extra plate in there. I always feel too that if you have to bolt the plate down, there's screws there. Then you have to bolt your optic to the top of the plate. So there's more screws. So you've got, it's not a true fit. It's, you know, you're fitting it between a plate and a bunch of damn screws, kind of like the MOS. And I just want it as low as possible. Matter of fact, with my Shadow 2, the Fire for Effect, I can actually co-witness with my stock sights. That's how low they get it. And they're the only ones that can get it that low. There's other people tried, and this is a patent where they have it. And I've actually shown it on videos and stuff. And if you ever saw where I was getting it milled, that's the way they mill it. So it actually has lugs where it's a patent design, and they can get it lower than anybody. So yeah, the CZ single action trigger is nice. Bald, I told you to just throw that piece of shit Sig Legion Frankenstein gun in the trash and get you a Shadow 2. You'd be much, much happier. I love you, Bald. I love you like a redheaded stepchild. How about that? Yeah, Staccato is great for the money. Let's see, where did that go here? Hello, IBG. Staccato is great for the money. So impressed. I will definitely get the carry version, being the C2. Yeah, that's why I just went with the C2 personally right off the bat. You know, I played with the P. Matter of fact, when I was buying mine, there was a P Duo, actually 2 P Duos, and in the back, this is what they had on the shelf. I went to the back to pull mine. I got to pick my serial number. I think there was like, at the time, they had like 8 C2s and like duos and about 6 or 8 P Duos. And I, you know, kind of played around with them, put my hands on them. And I was just like, you know what? I really like the C just because the little less weight. And I'm not recoil sensitive. The P gives you more weight if you're recoil sensitive. But that's why I went with the C2, because it holds, you know, I can put the big mags in there, the medium mags or the short mags. It just gives me a lot what I want, you know, for it. So Wild Arm is saying I'm 100% on direct milling. My Tanfo Stock 3 is low. Yeah. I just think, you know, when you add plates and things, that's just another potential stress area. You know, I mean, the type of work that I do, I'm all about keeping it simple. And that's what I just like it direct milled. And yes, Bald, I agree with you. Where's the fun in that? Experimenting is the key. Well, hell, you make fun of all my custom guns, you big turd. Oh, sorry, see, Kim, I was trying to get to you. I like the S&I short reach trigger, pre-B, CZC, short double action trigger, pre-B, yeah. No free lunch for doubling up in production and production optics with the same S2 slide. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You know, at one time they were able to get just slides, and they could, you know, you could have a backup slide to put on your gun so you could shoot production and you could shoot carry optics, but it's harder and harder to get slides by themselves now. Matter of fact, it's, you know, the CZ Shadow 2s aren't just laying around now. Matter of fact, I haven't seen one in a while. I don't know if, you know, I mean, I know that I could find one if I had to have one, but and people have asked me this. I think even or someone was asking me this. I think it was today, maybe yesterday. If I could only pick one between the Shadow, or excuse me, between the CZ TSO and the Shadow 2, If I can only pick one of those guns, and y'all know I love single action also, if I can only pick one of those guns, TSO or the Shadow 2, I would take Shadow 2 all day long, because it's much more functional in different roles. You could use it for home defense because you can put a light on it. You could carry it if you really wanted to, and you could carry a TSO too, but it's a freaking beast. It's double action, single action versus just single action only. I don't mind single action only. Hell, I carry one every day, but it's just not as practical as the Shadow 2. And as far as accuracy, I mean, with a really good grip and stuff, I put up the same groups with both. The TSO could be just a tad better, but dot for dot, they both shoot fantastic. Where did it go? Dennis, it actually holds 16 rounds, but you can get the 17 rounders for it. It'll hold the 20 rounders and also hold the 26 rounders. So, you can fit them all in there just like a Glock. All the STI mags will fit. Of course, some of them hang out, but it comes stock with the 16 round mags, and the 17s don't really stick out any bigger or anything if you wanted those. Dennis was looking at a gray frame Shadow 2 today. Yeah, the Urban Gray. Matter of fact, my orange and gray one and all that was an Urban Gray. And then my black one is still black. And then I have another black one, but it doesn't have any optics on it. It's just it's a stock except for the trigger. Oh, Tactical Firearms. Yeah, that was him. I thought it was you, but I didn't want to say that because I get so many questions asked. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. Let's see here. SP01 Tactical, yeah. Truffle Butter. Yeah, that was a weird name that he picked for that. Let's see here. Brian, I'm going to answer your question. Big Johnson Guns and Gear. My son shot a Shadow 2 yesterday at the range, 3 shots in the same hole at 7 yards. He wants one bad now. They are super accurate guns. I mean, of course, accuracy is the shooter, but they're very easy to shoot. I honestly, a buddy of mine, he's not an avid shooter. He carries a Glock, and I've seen his groups with Glocks. They're not super impressive, and I'm not saying you have to shoot whole groups, but I let him shoot my Shadow 2, and he impressed himself. I mean, his groups went from, I don't know, about that big at 7 yards, down to like that, and he was like, holy crap. But you're adding more weight, which helps. There's a lot of benefits there, but it's really hard to beat that gun. Brian is saying, does anyone shoot 300 Blackout any longer? Freaking ammo is still over $1 a round. There you go, Brian. There's your question. I'm carrying one right now. Yes, I shoot it. And, I planned accordingly. Of course, I always do with every caliber I carry. But, yeah, I loaded up hell, I just shot 150 rounds the other day of 300 Blackout. And every time I pulled the trigger, I was literally like, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I was like, I don't even want to add that up. I know what it cost now, but I loaded up hardcore back when. I got 1,000 rounds of it here. I got 500 rounds of it there. I try to load up pretty hard with stuff that I really, really enjoy. But yeah, and right now I'm seeing a lot of the steel, 300 Blackout steel ammo. I think it's at Bernhardt or whatever. It's like $14.99 a box. I've never personally shot it. A lot of people say that it's really good. I'm not opposed to steel ammo, but I prefer brass. Yeah, Grand Power. CZ shotgun. I actually have a buddy of mine that has a CZ shotgun. He really likes it. I personally have never shot one. I've handled them. I believe they're made in Turkey. A lot of them are, but they look like really nice shotguns. He uses his for bird hunting. Dennis is saying once he sells his LTT rodeo slide, he's buying a Shadow. Cool. I mean, like I said, and the rodeo is really nice too. I've just, Beretta, I mean, I love Berettas. I've had them in the past. The only thing I physically hate about the Beretta, and this is my problem, it's not anybody else's problem, is the grips are too freaking short. I've got these big old things, and my hand actually hangs off the end. So when I do a mag change, I pinch the piss out of the bottom of my palm, and it sucks. Yep. Channel Cat has a CZ shotgun. Matter of fact, he was the one that I was talking about. I didn't want to say his name because I didn't know if he wanted me to. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I loaded up on 300 a long time ago. And if it comes back, and my prediction is when it comes back normally, or I guess the lowest price, we're not going to see it. It's probably still going to be above $1 a round is what I'm predicting, at least for a while. I was buying it back then. I think for brass, I was getting it for like 74 cents a round or something, 67 cents a round. I can't remember, but it was a good price. Yeah, CZ22s are really nice. Say my name. Screw Biden. Man, I love shotguns. Shotguns are awesome. They definitely have their place, and they're just fun as hell to shoot. I mean, I really, really enjoy them. Biden, he doesn't even know his own name. The only thing he needs to be eating tapioca pudding and yelling bingo. That's what he needs to be doing. So, getting his diaper changed. Yeah, he can't even remember shit. I love all the memes that they do and stuff where he's like, can't even talk. Hello, Kathleen. How are you? But, and matter of fact, I love like double barrel coach guns. I like over and unders. I also like the coach gun, where you've got the double barrel side by sides. Those are badass. And they shoot really great. Kathleen, tell me you love me. Okay, Kathleen, I love you. How about that? Yeah, that's what I say. Biden can go pound sand. But give me some more questions. I depend on y'all for questions. I didn't have a bunch of questions tonight. I don't know if y'all saw the idiots that left Texas and jumped on that private plane, drinking Miller Lite and eating Caesar salad, and went to Washington and tried to cause a hoopla, and all they've done is given each other Corona. So apparently they left with Miller Lite. No, I take that back. What was it? It was either Miller Lite, and then they came back with a case of Corona. So, but, they can stay there. We don't need them back. They can piss off. Oh, boy. Look at this name. Okay, you win for best name of the evening. Pretty much everything CZ is exceptional. Yeah, and what's crazy is, like, I don't know what YouTube's doing, but like my last 3 videos, and hell, this one too probably, but my last 3 videos have instantly been demonetized. Instantly. I mean, I put them up, they're demonetized. So I guess they hate me, but whatever. Pistol Pete, you have any 1911s in 9mm? Yes, I do have one. I have a Smith & Wesson 439. It's kind of the OG. It's a 1986. It was my very, very first gun. And you could say it's a 1911. It's a little different, but it does take down like a 1911. So yes, I do have it. Shoot it. I love it. It's great. 1911s and 9mm are fun as hell. And of course, I got the 2011 and 9mm, the Staccato. Yes, Kathleen, everything with orange makes it better. Orange is my color. It's been my favorite color since I was a little kid. All right, Dennis, let's get to the Bren. I posted up a picture on the YouTube community of a CZ Bren 2 that has a cracked receiver. And that one is fully automatic. It is a 5.56. It is not a 7.62 by 39. And the receiver's cracked. It has probably over 10,000 rounds at full auto, and the receiver let loose. The crack is about, and I'm not being facetious, you can see it in the picture, the crack is about this long. It goes all the way down. Took the guts out of it, looked from the inside, and it's cracked inside, so it went all the way through, and you can actually scrape it with your fingernail. People in that ask, and I'm not answering any of those questions because I wanted people to talk about it on the chat and hear it on the chat. So if you tuned in, you get to hear the answer. That was not reman ammo. In order to rent a gun, a fully automatic gun, you have to use their ammo. So it's all factory ammo. Now, if the factory loaded it hot, they could have, but it was all factory ammo, and the gun has over 10,000 rounds through it, and it's cracked. So they are having to do an RMA through CZ to get it repaired. I was joking around. I was like, slap some JB Weld on it. Let's get back to work. But I was just joking. I don't know how they're going to fix it, if they're going to actually replace the receiver, or if they're going, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming they would put a new receiver on it, but I'm not CZ. But that's the first one of any of the Berens I have ever seen crack. So that's why I took the picture, and I was like, wow, that's I haven't seen that. Now, granted, we as civilians don't run around with fully autos, unfortunately, because the NFA sucks ass. But anyway, that's what happened to it. So, okay, here we go. Big Johnson Guns and Gear, compensators on non-competition open guns. I'm a believer now. There you go. I mean, I really do like comps. I'm not saying, I've obviously proved to myself that I can shoot a non-comp just as good as I can shoot a comp, but I just like them. And it depends on the ammo. But what's funny is I actually get better feedback. I've tested 124, 115, and 147. I actually get better feedback from 115, probably because it's more gassy. It has more gunpowder in it. And I'm not recoil sensitive either way, but I've got pictures where flames are coming out with 115 and there's no flames with 147, some flames with 124, but it seems like the 115 is super gassy. But when I saw that Bren cracked, I was just like, man, and I know people, they're shooting fully automatic guns like rental cars, they drive them like they stole them. So, but I really kind of couldn't believe that happened. It was definitely pretty surprising. I think I missed something here. I was trying to find. Yeah. Joe Biden sniffed say my name. Yeah. Hello, Floridian. How are you? What is my preferred gun lube? I really like the CLP. What is it? It's made by Rand, RAND, and I really like that CLP. I've been using it for a long, long time, and I've had really good luck with it. Also, the Lucas gun oil. I think it's the green, the thick. I've had really good luck with it. I will say this. I do not use that. Oh gosh, what is it? I used to use it back in the day. I've got videos on it. That clear. I can't remember the name of it. Other YouTubers, big YouTubers recommend it, and it worked good at first. But if I let them sit for a long time, I noticed more and more carbon on it. I think it's that Bor, whatever the hell it's called. It's not Borisol, it's something else. But those are the ones that I have. I do not have any 1911s and 38 Special. I wonder if you mean 38 Super. You might mean 38 Super. 38 Super is no joke. I love 38 Super. It's awesome. Big Johnson Guns and Gear, same here. If you tinkle with the guns on YouTube, they demonetize it right away. Yeah, but I mean, it's not live, and we're showing, like, hey, here's this gun and whatever. But I don't, they're going to be what they are. Yeah, 38 Super. Yeah, 38 Super. I really like 38 Super, but man, the ammo is so freaking expensive. Kathleen shot a CZ P10F today and liked it. Yeah, they're awesome guns. I really like the F, man. I like the size of that grip. Get a really nice grip on it. I've shot a Colt. I think it was a Colt. Yeah, it was a Colt trophy match think it's called the trophy match in 38 Super. I have shot a Cabot. It wasn't my gun. Neither one of these were. And I shot a Cabot in 38. I think it was, no, it wasn't a Cabot. Was it a Wilson Combat? I don't know, but it was a really sweet 1911. And it was in 38 Super. I've never shot a 2011 in 38 Super. Channel Cat fondled a CZ Checkmate. Wow. Yeah, they're nice guns. Pistol Pete, no, it's not Ballistol. I actually like Ballistol. Matter of fact, a lot of people don't know this, but Ballistol works really, really great on a knife. And it works really, really great if you're treating leather. A lot of people don't know that, but Ballistol, that's some old school shit. My grandfather used to use that, and I still have a big jug of it. Mobile One, good enough for my Corvette, good enough for my pistols. Yeah. Yeah. It's that's actually a great question, sir. If you were investing in a first suppressor mounting system for ARs, which would you choose? Exactly what I chose. I decided to go with Q with the Trash Panda because you can get the cherry bombs, and I've got them on tons of rifles. The cherry bombs are like $60 or $65. You can get them on sale and find them sometimes for like $65 for the cherry bombs. A lot of other, for like other suppressors, some of those mounts will run you $110 a piece. And I don't just have one gun or one rifle. So I loaded up on cherry bombs for, the 308 version. And what's neat is, of course, they have the 308 version and you have your 5.56 versions. The cherry bombs are bigger to screw onto the barrels, of course. I think it's 5.8 by whatever, and the other ones, I can't remember the diameters, but both of the cherry bombs or your Trash Pandas screw on both of those cherry bombs. So it's super less expensive. And I can fit it on 5.56, 308, 7.62 by 39, of course, 300 blackout. I can run subs or super in them with no issues. And matter of fact, I had a guy shoot my new build with the Trash Panda on the 5.56 and the 308, and he was super impressed how quiet a 30 cal can, because on the end of it, it's a 30 cal opening, but it was on a 5.56. And he was really surprised how quiet and accurate it was. And the neat thing, when we were sighting all of these in, I did them suppressed and unsuppressed. And I actually have groups suppressed and I have groups unsuppressed. And with the Trash Panda, I only had, at 50 yards, only had about a 1/4 of an inch. Well, put it this way. They were super tight without the suppressor, or with the suppressor. I sighted them all in with the suppressor. Took the suppressor off, and with the 300 blackout, I took the suppressor off, and they were all bullseyes with no suppressor. And then with the 5.56, it was just like a 1/4 of an inch higher, all in the same holes, but a 1/4 inch higher without the suppressor. So there's not a bunch of deviation. And I've shot guns where you shoot them suppressed, then you take the suppressor off, even with a cold barrel or a warm barrel, and it can actually like go to the right, like a 1/2 inch or an inch to the right, or it can drop a 1/2 inch to the left. I mean, it can do weird things because you're taking the whip off for your suppressor. And it's, I'm really not getting, now this is all at 50 yards, but if you take a 1/2 inch at 50 yards, it should be an inch at 100. So it's, and the cherry bombs, they're tapers. So you're not having to crank it on there. You just put it on hand tight, give it a twist, and then the tapers actually lock up to make the suppressor not come off when it warms up. And then when it cools down, you can take it off by hand again. You will never have a carbon lock. If you watch the video where I shot it, you will actually see the end of the cherry bomb. It's completely black. All the tapers are all brass. And I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rounds through some of mine and no carbon lock. And I get carbon lock on the dead air quite a bit on my other dead air. So that's just my 2 cents. I'm not a suppressor aficionado. I'm not a professional suppressor guy, but you know, I've learned to appreciate Q's design. Some people think they're overrated, but everybody seems to copy them. My dream gun is a nuclear bomb. That's pretty funny. But, you know, I say if you can go to a place where you could rent suppressors or rent guns and with suppressors on them and try them, you know, that's kind of what I did. I tried a few suppressors and kind of looked at some backstories and did a lot of, you know, my own investigating, not just taking a YouTuber's, you know, at word. I actually kind of did my own investigation. And, you know, the Q Trash Panda is titanium, so it's all titanium. You don't have to clean it. It's self-cleaning. So the way that I shoot mine is I'll shoot it with subs. Then you can run some supers through it and blow it out. And I've had not one issue with it. And it's got a shitload of rounds through it. And that's through multiple guns, 308, 300 Blackout, and 5.56. So, and 223, of course. But a lot of fun to shoot. Suzuki. Get me a big old drink of water. Man, it's super dry here in El Paso, too. Kind of reminds me a little bit about Phoenix. But what else is going on? Anybody have any other, you know, great things or any surprising stuff that's happened recently, or any guns or things that y'all are excited about looking for or getting? One thing that, you know, I was going to bring up, and I have it written down here, is the comments that I get. I mean, I get the craziest shit. I just have people like one guy, and I posted it on the YouTube community. One guy just said, "Idiot." That was his response to me. And my response back to him was, "Tell us where they touched you." Because it's like people just either wake up in a super bad mood, or they're just angry as hell, or they're jealous, or whatever it is. But man, I'm a positive person. I try to be positive to everybody and just have a good time and not take life so seriously. But man, it would suck if you woke up every day just being a piece of shit. I just don't understand how people can be that way. It just blows me away. What is your largest and smallest carry gun? That's a great question. My largest carry gun that I have officially carried, I have carried my Glock 17L. It's a 6-inch barrel. I have carried my STI 5-inch 45. The one that Vulcan Machine Works did. It's a big boy. It is a 5-inch barrel. I'm trying to think if I've carried my Shadow too, but it's not a dominant carry gun. You know, and a lot of people, because it doesn't really have a drop safety and stuff like that. So if you fell on it, it could go off. You know, I carried it cocked and locked. I didn't carry it hammer down. I just wanted to see if I could, and I did. My smallest carry gun is probably my Shield 9mm single stack, or my Shield 45. You know, they're about the same size. That's probably my smallest carry gun. I don't really carry small carry guns anymore. They have to be compact or above, just to be honest with you. Yes, CZ Shadow 2, you did. I was at Fire for Effect. I just saw those guys yesterday, went in and visited with them, you know, checked it all out. They are doing the TS2 slides now. That was just the first stage. That was the initial cut. The very first step. There's like 4 processes they do. So they brought it in, and he had already milled it. I was like, oh, wow, let me check that out. So I shot a picture of it. That was a picture I took real quick. And he was going back to actually do their patent cut. So that's just the first mill that they did. There's a lot more to it. They do really, really nice work. Yes, Pistol Pete, ammo is starting to come down. I'm seeing it come down mostly on like 223, 5.56, and 9mm. Some of the boutique rounds, like 300 Blackout, it's still pretty hard to find, and it's pretty expensive. But yeah, that's actually well said. The lowest self-esteem results in horrible attitudes. Yeah, man, I just hate negativity. It's freaking poison, and there's just no reason for it. Bald says he wants to shoot a match with his 365 XL, working on getting 20 round mags in Pennsylvania or in PA. So next time I'm there, I can shoot a match out of my Harry's holster, appendix holster, just for fun. Yeah, do what you want to do, man. That's the thing, you know, like, and that's another reason, I was just like, you know what? I want to shoot my carry gun, but if I did, they would throw me into open. I want to shoot the staccato, and I just wish they would come out with like either a modified open division or something where you could shoot single action. And, because I carry that gun. It's got a flashlight on it. Now you can shoot with flashlights, but I carry that gun. So why the hell can't I shoot it? They need to open up a different classification. But if they throw me in open, I'm going to get my ass smoked with open guns. I'd be shooting against Humble with his Bull Armory, and he'd smoke my ass. I mean, hell, he could probably smoke my ass anyway. I'm not saying I'm a professional shooter, but I just want to, be able to shoot like a carry match with that gun. It just irritates me that I can't, but whatever. Brian Barrett, what is your favorite pistol sight to add? I really love the Trijicon SROs. That's probably my ultimate favorite. Then under that, like the Holosun 507C. Really liking the ACSS reticle, the Vulcan reticle. I think that's kind of cool because I have astigmatism and it's a chevron and it still shows up clear. I actually prefer the Holosuns over RMRs. I know I try to buy All American. I hope y'all know that. I want to buy All American products. But it's got the RMR has the little window, and it's got the dog ear, where it's kind of cut like that, so you get the droop, and it really cuts down the window on the RMR. Where your Holosun is a little taller because you have the round sight. So when I'm throwing it up there, I just see that window better than I see the RMR. I know the RMR is more durable. You can throw the damn thing off a building and you'll probably be okay. I know that. But I'm just saying, for my eye, what I like to see, I like a little larger window than the RMR. So just my opinion. Let's see here. I had a guy comment about my trigger scales being off, then lecture me how unsafe light triggers are. I told him I was a quadriplegic, and he kept on about safety. After a while, I dismissed him. Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with stupid people. Trust me, I carry light triggers. Hell, I used to carry a 1911 with a 1.5 pound trigger. And people are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you carry that." In my Shield 1.0, the trigger is 3 pounds 4 ounces. I've got videos on it. My Shield 45 is 3 pounds 2 ounces. People are telling me I'm so stupid and all this other shit, and I'm like, why am I stupid? If you don't put your finger on the bang switch, it's not going to go off. If you mean to shoot somebody, I don't care if it's a 12-pound trigger or a 1 pound trigger. I mean to shoot you. So don't put your finger on the bang switch and it's not going to go off. But people get all wrapped around that freaking axle about this and this and this. So if you've got trigger discipline, you keep your finger out there and then put it in the trigger guard when you need it. I don't know. I just always tell people, do what the hell you want to do. But I would never beat up somebody about a light trigger or a heavy trigger or a medium trigger. In my ARs, I look at it this way. My ARs, most of them are 3 to 3.5 pound triggers in my ARs. Even my big 308s, they're light triggers or lighter triggers because that's what I prefer, because a lighter trigger helps you be more accurate and it helps with your follow-up shots. And a lot of people don't realize that. If you're pulling a 6-pound trigger for your initial pull, if you're not used to it, you're going to shake through that front sight. It's going to throw off your aim. And then for your follow-up shot, it could be worse. So, just do what you want to do. I'm just telling people what I have. If they want to have a heavier trigger, fine. I don't give two shits what you carry or what you do. I would never push my opinion on somebody else, but a lot of people do. I sure hope so, Bald, because, I've told Humble about this numerous times, because I think with all of the people carrying staccatos and carrying 1911s, because I know people that carry, EDC 9s with red dots on them, and they carry that gun. They would like to shoot it in competition, not to have to, you can shoot a Glock, you can shoot all this. And a lot of people say, oh, well, single action gives you, it's faster reaction time. Well, that's not true. I can pull out a Glock and I can pull the trigger. I can pull out a staccato. I have to sweep the safety, then pull the trigger. So, I mean, if you put it on a timer, it's going to be about the damn same. I don't get it, but whatever. Yeah, matches are fun. I mean, there's great camaraderie. You're meeting like-minded people. You can really meet some nice people out there. I've never knocked the people at matches. You can get some arrogant guys that are just like, I'm the best and whatever, and then you watch them and they suck. Or you can watch them and they kick ass. But that's any part of life you can have that. So it doesn't mean anything. Yes, and I've actually said the same thing, C. Kim. Some of those replies have been back, hey, if you're not an avid shooter and you're not familiar with your trigger, maybe you need a heavy trigger. If you're that worried and you're going to shit your pants if you have to pull it, then maybe you need a heavy trigger. So I've said the exact same thing. Big Al, how are you doing, Big Al? He said his CZ-P07 slide on it is after getting milled for the Holosun 507K. After being finished in brushed nickel, put the cut in the rear and hard sight behind it. Yeah, that's awesome. My P07, I've got a sight in front of the optic cut. Either way is fine. It's whatever you prefer. There's not a wrong or a right, but whatever floats your boat. But I think, oh, here we go. Hang on. Yeah, it's whatever works for you and whatever you feel comfortable with. But I'm telling you, once you truly go to dots and you start shooting dots and you start practicing with it, don't just shoot it 1 or 2 times. Really put in some time behind it. But once you go dots, it's really hard to go back to irons. I mean, I can still shoot an iron gun. Matter of fact, I just did it 3 weeks ago. I shot some iron guns. I now find it slower with irons, not like drastically, but it definitely does help me. I've got some aging eyes, but it definitely does help me, and I'm actually a lot faster with it. I feel more comfortable with it. It's just kind of like if I don't have a dot, I feel like something's missing on my gun now. So, but I have always told people, carry what you want. If you want a 6-pound trigger, carry it. If you want a dot, carry it. If you don't want a dot, don't carry it. I mean, just do what works for you. Always do what makes you happy. Don't do what other people do. And then if y'all have listened, I always say that, because people will ask my opinion, and I always say, this is just my opinion. You might like this particular gun better than I did. You might like this or that. I'm not that guy that's like, if you don't have this gun, you suck. Or, if you don't carry what I carry or, use the same ammo I do. I don't do any of that. There's no reason to. It's a great thing about it's America. You can do what the hell you want to do. Bald, I did watch that. I watched that Gunpowder Milkshake, and at first I was like, this is dumb. But then it actually got pretty good. I was like, yeah, it's like John Wick's with girls. Yeah, I was like, that's actually pretty neat. But I thought it was going to be goofy, and I was like, what the hell is this milkshake and gunpowder? And so I watched it, and I actually was like, it's pretty interesting gun, or pretty interesting movie. Yeah, Big Al, I hear you there. I've got some guns I wish that I could put dots on it. I've had a lot of people ask, why don't you have a dot on your CZ97B, my CZ45, and they can't get one on there. Just the way that the slides mill or the way that the side's shaped, and also it's got the plunger that pops up. Just can't put a dot on it. I even tried to put a dot on it, and they couldn't do it. So, I really am hooked on the dots. Yes, and the Shake Awake is definitely a neat thing. Matter of fact, the one that I'll just say it this way. I was actually going to do a video on it. I love this particular dot and reticle that I've got on this 300 POF that I'm carrying, the Vortex Huey. The thing I hate is it does not have a Shake Awake. So if I turn it on, it'll stay on for 10 hours and then it goes off. Not that I sleep 10 hours, but you know, I don't want to have to reach up and hit a button and turn it on. Um, and also I'll tell you this, when I'm driving down the road and the gun's, just bouncing around in the safe or whatever, it's going to kick your Shake Awake on because it's moving it around. But you could actually hardcore turn it off. And then when you got to where you were going, you could turn it back on if you really wanted to. But man, everything should be Shake Awake now. Having to push a button to turn it on and off, that's just crap. Not a fan of it. And that's a $400 and something red dot, and I physically manually have to turn the damn thing on. And I'm like, really? But it's all American made. It's their first all American made, red dot or holographic sight. The only thing that is not American made is just the reticle inside, and it's made in the UK. So that's one reason I wanted to buy it and try it. Hey, Dennis, I appreciate you. Tuning in. I appreciate all of y'all tuning in, and I definitely enjoy this chat. I enjoy, spending time with y'all. Really is always a good time. I agree with you, Pistol Pete. Still like irons, but even with that, I prefer black rear and fiber front. Yes, if I have to have iron sights, I prefer a blacked out rear and fiber optic front, a thin fiber optic front. That's what, if I'm shooting irons, it's Dawson Precision sights for sure, fiber optic. 507C is green or red with 3 different options for pictures. They have the solar strip on the top. Yep. It's got the 3 different reticles. You can get a dot, a circle, or a circle in a dot, and it does have the solar strip. If you get the 407s, it only has the 1 reticle. So, yeah, and a lot of people have said, why do you shoot like the 3.5s or 2.5 dots and things like that? I've got astigmatism, so it kind of blurs a little bit, which probably makes the dot a little bigger. If I don't have my prescription glasses on. However, I can't take a 6 and turn it down. I can always take a small dot and I can turn up the intensity to bloom it, to make it even bigger. So I could turn the damn thing into like a 5 or a 6 MOA if I want to with blooming. That's not the proper way to do it. You want to have the smallest, tightest dot you can for accuracy. However, if I had to, I could. So. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't came out with one, but we all know Grand Power sucks. I'm just joking. Yeah, I said that too when I had my Steyr. I was like, it would be cool to have these in a night sight. For me though, I would really, even on the Steyr, I would prefer, a fiber optic sight, just because the like night sights and things, they're usually a big green dot. And what's crazy, and a lot of people don't know this, I've tested it, night sights only really work for like grabbing your gun off the nightstand. It shows you where your gun is. If you were in a fist fight and you dropped your gun, you could look down and the night sights would light it up if it was dark, because it doesn't shine on people. But if you try this, if you shoot with a flashlight on your gun, so you've got a flashlight built, onto your gun, you light it up. If you have a fiber optic front sight, even if it's green or yellow or red or whatever, the light will actually shine through that, the light from the front, it'll kind of light up white. So you can actually see your front sight in the dark with a weapon mounted light on. So I don't know if anybody's tried it. I have many times. I'll go out in the backyard and test things, and it does work. Kind of get a little kickback from that light, and it'll light up your fiber optic, not red or green. It lights it up white, but you can damn sure see your sight. But without a flashlight, you can't. Unless there's some kind of ambient light out there or something. All right, here we go. Hello, Colostomy Bag. Just shot my RMR on my G330 or G34 for the first time today. Absolutely love it. I'm hitting the A part of an IPSC target at 30 yards without trying too hard. Use your reviews. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, when you're shooting with a dot, you do not look at the dot. Don't stare at that dot. You actually look through the window at your target and let the dot just get in the way. That's all you do. And the hardest part for me was when I started shooting dots, I kept catching myself staring at that damn dot. I would just stare at it and I wasn't looking at my target. So you get, you know, you want to be target focused, not dot focused. So do not look at your dot. Big Johnson Gear, 100% correct. That shot numerous IDPA matches where they had low light or light stages, and fiber optic works great with a flashlight. Yeah, it does, and a lot of people don't know that, but it definitely does. That's why, and if you've looked at my old videos, I would never carry a gun without night sights. I just wouldn't. And that was my narrow-minded bullshit. I was this narrow-minded tunnel vision idiot. Once I got into fiber optics, I never, ever bought a night sight again. Never. And I will tell you, I made a mistake. I was wrong. I was wrong. I would look over at my nightstand and see those, you know, glow in the dark, you know, Trillium sights. And I was like, oh, those are so cool. I can find my gun. Yes, if you get in a fisticuff and you drop your gun, those are going to help you find it, or they're going to help you find it off of a nightstand. Other than that, they don't do shit. They really don't. Matter of fact, I have talked to two, and they are real. I'm not making this up. They were real spec ops guys. They're the real deal. And I asked them, what sights do you prefer on your carry gun or combat gun? One guy said blacked out rear, blacked out front, metal sights, combat sights. The other guy said fiber optic front and rear, blacked out. So I was like, okay, cool. But again, that's their opinion. I'm not pushing anything on anybody. Let's see here. Big Al is saying, I have astigmatism as well. I put the Holosun on top with the black rear and thin fiber optic front and red. Red because my dot will be green, the best for me, and I have no drawback if the dot goes down. Yeah. I mean, I've never had a Holosun go down, knock on this particle board desk or whatever the hell it is. But, you know, and that's another thing. And I will say this, I've proven it. I did it in a video. You know, when you really get your draw down and you got your, I mean, you can look, even if your dot went dead. And what I did is I taped the rear of my dot, not the front, because you could still see the dot and you could target focus, but I actually taped the back of my dot. I couldn't see my dot and the gun didn't have any sights on it. There's no sights on the gun. It's my P07. I did it on a video. Sent the target out to 7 yards. It's all live on a video. And I actually just put the grip out there. I could not see any sights or a dot. It was completely covered. I showed it on video. I'm like, you can't see through this. And I shot a group. I think there's 10 rounds at 7 yards. The whole entire group with absolutely no sights and absolutely no dot. The group is that big. That's at 7 yards. So, and they were right where I wanted them. Because if you've got that right grip and you know, you've got it set up on a correct plane, which you're used to, you can recreate that. Or if your dot was to go down, you could actually use the window, you know, just your window is like a little goal post. And you can put that on your bad guy and you know where you're going to hit him, even if there's no dot. So that's something, just turn your dot completely off and try it. You'll see what I'm talking about. Kyla, I actually have two of them. I have the TFX Pros, where you get the day sights and then the night sights all in the same tube. And to be honest with you, they're tall, they're bulky. It changes my point of impact. I'm used to it now when I shoot those guns, and I can still shoot them very good because I'm used to them. But I think they're garbage. I really think they're garbage. So I don't recommend them to anybody. Matter of fact, I've had other guys that aren't used to them, and they are good shooters, and it'll change their point of impact by about that much at about 7 to 10 yards. So I just think they're garbage. But that's my opinion. If you like them, go for it. And what's crazy is I just on that the gun, that I had built, or that setup, I just got the new Cloud Defensive light. It's pretty big. It's about that big. It's heavy freaking duty. The thing has 1,400 lumens and 60,000 candela. It is a flamethrower. I mean, I took it out in my backyard, and there's a field back there, and it was just like, and I was like, holy crap, that thing is a beast. Big Al, by the way, thank you for the reviews you do. Things like you just talked about, you mentioned the reviews, that makes it great. Thanks, I appreciate it, Big Al. I just try to give my opinions on my experiences. I bought stuff that's complete garbage. I've had stuff sent to me that's complete garbage, and I don't want you to spend your hard-earned money on it if it's garbage. Now, if I don't like it, but I think you still might, I won't say it's garbage. But if it's just flat out shit, I won't recommend any of that to anybody. Brian T is saying suggestions on where to buy iron sights. I will only buy iron sights from Dawson Precision. They're out of Austin, Texas, and the reason being, they make some of the best sights in the business, such as like your Shadow 2 and things. Those are the sights, or on the Staccato, they do the sights for the Staccato. But here's the deal: they actually have, it's called a no question warranty. So if you buy a set of sights and say you're shooting a little higher, a little lower, whatever, they guarantee you can contact them and say, hey, you know what? I'm hitting, a 1/4 inch high with these sights. They will actually send you another sight at no charge if you want it higher or lower, whatever. It's basically a sight guarantee. They are the best sights in the business, and I believe Humble will tell you the exact same thing. Dawson Precision makes badass stuff. I love Dawson Precision. Yeah, it's not 16,000, it's 60,000 candela. Yeah, Big Al, it's 60, not 16,000, 60,000. Yeah, that thing's crazy. Yeah, hit that thumbs up, people. And we're going a little over, but I don't care. We'll keep this rocking for a minute. Big Johnson Guns and Gear, you should start another channel, Big Johnson Hotel Reviews. Yeah, no shit. I would give this one a really bad grade. It looked like my great-grandmother remodeled this piece of shit. And the bad thing is it's actually a nice hotel in a nice area, but they must have stuck me in the never been, redone, or whatever you call it, never been remodeled room. And hell, I'm even a Diamond member, but whatever. I don't throw that out there. We'll make it work. Good night, Kyla. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's crazy, but what's neat about this light, the Cloud Defense, Big Al, it's not the bright white. It's actually a warmer tone, so it's more of a yellowish, and that's another reason I wanted it. It's 100% made in America, so it's not a Chinese light or anything like that. And I definitely want to support American-made companies. But it's really impressive, the tone of the light it gives off. And the reason it's that tone is what they say. It goes through photonic barriers better. And what that means is, like in an urban area where you have a lot of street lights and, like maybe headlights coming at you, or, stadium lights or something like that. This is supposed to punch through those and still be able to see your target. So that's another reason, and they're not cheap. I spent a lot of money on it and the mount. They are definitely not a cheap flashlight. I believe it's just for the light and the button. It was $379, and then the mount was $50. So it's not a joke, and it only takes rechargeable batteries, no CR123s, but it comes with the charger and everything. But it's 100% American made. The neat thing about it is the head is T7 Carpenter steel, so it's not an aluminum bezel. The actual housing is aluminum, but the head is steel. Excuse me, is steel. So you can actually drive nails with this thing. That's what's crazy about this light. This thing is, I mean, awesome tough. So that's what I wanted to get. Hey, Brian T, I appreciate you. Texas, baby. No, but actually, I do leave reviews. I leave, if it's a really good hotel and the staff was really great, I'll leave great reviews. If it wasn't so good, I don't beat them up. I'm not that guy that's like, they didn't give me enough soap. I don't really leave negative reviews. I just won't leave a review. They'll actually email me and say, what did you think about it? If I didn't have a good experience, I don't bash anybody when it comes to that. But if it was real bad and dirty and stuff like that, I might say, hey, my room was kind of dirty. But a lot of these people, I come back at some of these hotels and stay with them, and they treat me really nice and stuff like that. And I try to, make their job easier and pleasant. So, yeah, I do agree with that, Lynn. With a cowboy hat, yeah, I was like, that's a little different, but I don't even say that, CCAM. That's the black lights. Yeah, you don't want to do that. No. I've seen those things they used to do like on 60 Minutes or whatever those things were, and I was like, whoa, crap. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, being in Texas, we didn't have a whole lot of stuff really completely shut down. I mean, a lot of stuff opened up earlier. But El Paso, I was here after COVID, and they still had a lot of restaurants closed here. A lot of people don't know this about this area in El Paso, but it is very democratic in this area. So to say liberal, I don't know if you really want to say liberal. It's just very democratic. So they, some of them are a little, there's great people here, but they kind of, compared to Texas is a little different here in El Paso. No, I wasn't. I didn't shine it on anybody. I didn't want to blind them because the thing is bright, but it's really impressive. I mean, I could see like the little dust particles floating around where I can't see that with some of my other lights. So I was like, damn, that thing's pretty powerful. But I just wanted to get one to experience it. Plus, it's USA Light and stuff, and I had heard good things and seen good reviews. So I just wanted to try one out for myself. So that's why I spent the money and spent that kind of money to get another one. Thumbs up, please. And all for those that did thumbs down. I've got an idea where you can put those thumbs. Yeah, it's like I said, I mean, it is what it is. And a lot of the people don't realize it, but when you give a thumbs down, that actually counts as a positive for YouTube. Counts as a, what is it? Forget the actual word, but it's something they use, I guess. But anyway, it's an interaction. That's the word I'm looking for. It's an interaction. But like I said, some people are just that way. See, Kim, those are no joke. Those 72-ounce steaks, those are no joke. Those things are insane. That's a lot of damn food. No way I could eat one. I would die. I'd get me some meat sweats going, probably pass out halfway through it. But if y'all have any more quick questions, I'll answer them. We've gone about, I think we've total with the early chat and this way, we've gone about 20 minutes over, but I didn't mind it at all. I enjoy spending time with y'all, and I appreciate all of y'all tuning in. Also, I said it earlier, in case y'all weren't on, I appreciate getting to 16,000. Thank you so much. Got 16,000 family members, and I don't call them subs. It means a lot that y'all spend your time with me, and I enjoy doing this and having a good time. All right, CZ Shadow number 3 thumbs up was him. That's awesome. Black Angus ribeyes. Yeah, the grass-fed Black Angus is not a joke. That's good stuff. What kind of grips do I like? Hell, Lock Grips. Lock Grips makes the best grips out there. If you're talking about ARs, I like the Magpul K2s. Really like those. I really like that angle on the short PDWs. Some of the bigger guns I have, I like the ergo grips, the big fat ergo grips. Um, just depends on if it's more of like a PDW or if it's a big long rifle. Some of those I like the big ergo grips, but it just depends on the application that I'm putting it on. But pistols, all that's definitely lock grips, 100%, because I can have them made the way I want. And on the palm swells, I actually get oversized palm swells. So Jason, he's the owner. He makes me oversized palm swells, which most people never get. And Lynn was talking about that he got grips for his 97B. The 97B is a really thick grip from CZ. It's kind of wide and it's long going forward, forward to back. I actually have double layered 97B grips, and I'm the first one that's ever gotten extra thick grips. But there's so much customization they can do there. You don't just have to buy crap off the shelf. And if you have small hands, they can make you extra thin grips. You can get the tacky grips. You can pick, mild or super aggressive. I always go for super aggressive. So that's the thing about like a custom type grip from Lock Grips. You can get what you want and get the colors you want. So yeah, I mean, I love those guys. And before I was even repping them, I was buying them. And they were just like, you know what? You talk about us all the time. So how about you just partner up with us? And I've been with them for, going on 5.5 years or 5 years, I think. And I mean, they haven't put out a bad product, and their brass palm swells are pretty damn awesome too. I mean, they're heavy, if that's what you're looking for, but I always get the aggressive ones, so they really bite you. So I really do like those. Yeah, Blake is awesome too. Yeah, they're all good people. How about the ATIs? I have, I think I'm almost positive I have an ATI. I do like the X Tactical. If you've ever seen them, it's neat. It's one grip. So you buy one grip, and inside of it, it actually has a pivot. So you can actually change the angle of your grip. And so once you find what you like, you lock it in, put the screw in it, and it locks this way, or if you want it, more of a downward angle. But the only thing about them, I have XXL hands, and they are kind of narrow grips. They don't make a bigger, wider grip. But I do like how you can pick the angle that you would like on those grips. But it's X Tactical, and they make really good stuff. And they're not even expensive either. Yeah. Matter of fact, I was working with Jason. He's the owner. When he was like a one-man shop. And now I think they've got 6 employees. And just so you know, I'll say this because I can. They got some more stuff coming, and it's not just grips. Pretty cool stuff. So I'll have some prototype stuff coming soon. So it's going to be a different offering, and I think even more people are going to like it because it's pretty cool stuff. Okay, are you a Glock guy? Maybe it's a bad question. No, Tactical Firearms, there's no bad questions. I think I actually own 2 Glocks. I've got a 17L. It's my Deadpool gun that I had all dressed up, and then I've got the 19X. They're both great guns. Glocks definitely have their place. They're, hell, everybody has Glock mags in case something happened, and I've always said that would be my SHTF gun because you could find parts for it readily, easily. They are not my preferred gun. They're not my preference. However, I can shoot them and shoot them okay. But I will say this, the Glock angle with the hump and all that stuff, all of mine have been stippled and molded to my hand. So I put my hand on them, they mark them, and then they actually scallop the grip to my hand. So they're not just like out of the box. I hate out of the box Glocks. I mean, grip wise. Fuel prices in Texas suck. Here in El Paso, they're $3.09 a gallon. In Odessa and Midland, they are $3.23 a gallon. And where I am before I left, they were $2.40 $2.06, or no, I'm sorry, $2.56 a gallon, and it's probably gone up since I've been gone. But yeah, it's crazy. 276 in Oklahoma. That's good. What link are you talking about, Big Al? Because I don't really have a link. If you're talking about how they stipple them, the grips, it's called Warpath Frameworks. Warpath Frameworks. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you want lock grips, actually in this chat at the top of it, it's pinned. There's a link for lock grips, and you can use my code. It's BJGG10. So it's all caps, BJGG10. And if y'all don't have one of those lock pistol stands, they're awesome. I even showed it in my AR video. I've got an AR mount. You screw it right to your pistol stand. It'll hold up your AR-15 or your AR-10. I mean, and I put the gun on it and actually was putting the flashlight and everything on it. This flashlight, I was so meticulous about it with putting all the Loctite on every screw and going through and torquing it correctly and wiring the loop or the wire in their cover. I actually spent over an hour and a half just putting the flashlight on that rifle. So, I mean, I was into that thing hardcore, making sure it was perfect the way I wanted it. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. Sorry if we had some crappy internet break-ins, trying to do the best I can. The internet here sucks, so we were actually using the hotspot on my phone, but looks like we got it done. But I appreciate y'all. If y'all have any questions, please leave them after the chat. I'll get to them as quick as I can. Stay safe out there, everyone. And remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Hit that thumbs up. See y'all later.